Oh, we're probably gonna tell him about the assassin.
Are we?
I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
Ouch! Back again, are you? Hi. All about your investigations. I just read the report just now. You found him, eh? Vigil. Yep, luckily. Well, anyhow. Lady doesn't know he work here no more. So the case is now to do with Barclay.
I gotta write something down. Where's my phone?
I wouldn't I like you to get the wrong idea about that. Of course, yes. Mr. Vigil stopped working here 10 years ago now, so... Yes, we've seen his dismissal notice, haven't we? He was given the job. Oh, Kimber, you can very well. So how about a wee handcuff biscuit? Oh, they really are like little handcuffs. And as hard as irons, too. What? Hard as iron biscuits. Fuck off. So, what's brought you down here the other day? Well, there's something we'd like to ask you about, actually. You're making fun of my Canadian Australian accent? I thought it was supposed to be. I thought it was supposed to be Scottish. Is that so? We believe there might have been a document that disappeared from Genshin Asogi's cell. Oh yeah, Vigil's like, please do not mention the existence of these documents to anyone. Okay. Very next place we go. Hey, where's the Asogi papers? Who told you about them? Did I not say? Gregson said that is not to do with things that might have happened at Barclay. Leave the past in the past, laddie. Let's not food her with irrelevant details. His expressions changed completely. We're clearly onto something here. Did he just brush his hair with a gun?
Show me your band.
I gotta. What's that there then? It's actually the sign of a Japanese defense lawyer. Well, if you have to wear something like that to prove who you are, perhaps I should wear these handcuffs, eh?
It's quite kiki.
Why? I think maybe they're more of a sign of the people you catch than you yourself. Aye, that's true. You got me there then. They're not actually a sign of anything, are they? That murderous botched execution and the whole miserable escape. Barclay's darkest hour, aye. Shock and embarrassment. Because the convict had a collaborator on the prison staff, you mean? Aye, for shame. Coroner who confirmed the death of the man after his execution, Courtney Scythe, and my chief warder at the time, Vigil, who was in charge of the whole affair. But Mr. Vigil says he didn't know nothing about it. Rascal one eye saw the otherwise, eh? More handcuffs. Oh, how could I say no? You can never have too much iron in your diet. Mr. Vigil was handed his dismissal notice as a result of what had happened. He was so despairing he jumped out of your office window, didn't he? I don't know you like to say, but that's just Vigil trying to get out of it. They know thinking one-eye jumped from the shock of his crimes being exposed, eh? I do. You wouldn't say otherwise, though, would you? You are making fun of me accent. Of course, I can't shun all responsibility myself. I should never let him deceive me. Actually, there's barely anybody that kens what went on at that time now. We Gregson haven't been murdered, and Dr. Scythe forbidden from having any visitors. No visitors? Someone obviously doesn't want her giving anything away. Well, we're not going home empty-handed. One-eyed dreamer seen you packing with But now, Kimmer, yeah, I'll take a candy cuff or two. Well, it would be rude to say no. Wouldn't want to become anemic. Oh, I suppose if there's anybody who
I think Iris is collecting something.
She's collecting his accent. I suppose if there's anybody who might still can about what happened back then, it'd be Lord Strongheart. No, it'd be that last from the forensic division, Mariah Gory? Have we heard that name yet?
Mm-mm.
Oh, Scythe's daughter. Oh, maybe we did. She didn't have no male, just the one. Courtney had a daughter? She looked like she was... well, she was like in her 30s or something, huh? Away Bayern's following in Mab's footsteps. You'd ever seen her without a scalpel in her hand. Oh, that was the lady. We saw her before.
Oh, yeah. The bird lady.
Caw-caw! Ah, it's a bird! And did she just call the doctor Mama? Very brief. Dr. Scythe's daughter, Mariah Gory. We could do with talking to her. Why is she...
For the longest time, I thought that was Dr. Scythe.
Well, we saw them together.
I know, I forgot about that they were together.
Anyway. So, she's Dr. Scythe's daughter, but her surname is Gory? Oh, there's some family history, I'm sure, but I don't know the ins and outs of it. She grew up a Warwickshire man working with the bodies of folk who died in strange circumstances, and decided to do the same with her own life. How can I understand it myself? Perhaps she was driven by a deep respect for her mother. Right, I know. She was in charge of old Gregson's autopsy, I believe. Right, and the coroner responsible for this incomplete report. Somebody once told me that the wee lass always loved her mom's stories about cutting up bodies. There's even a rumor that she used to listen to the funeral march as a lullaby. That's really fucking weird. Perhaps her mother might have told her about the autopsy from the case 10 years ago. I know why I should ever do that, but I'd say there's a fighting chance at least. After all, that was a life-changing case for all of us. You really need to speak to Miss Gory herself about all this, I think. Well, thank you very much. I'm not happy about any part of this. Took years for Londoners to finally forget the whole prophecy business. Can you get up on this, laddie? Stop asking pointless questions. Sorry, I can't understand your accent. I don't like dredging up these painful memories for everyone. Can you just stay away now? Fuck!
I wish I could, but it,
Sorry, what are you fucking saying? Let me alone, did I come back here, eh? Anyway,
Ginny, we need a translator.
We need a translator. I speak Cockney, what makes you think I don't understand him?
I don't understand either one of them, so I just figured my best.
Just take the gun off of the off of Caden's belt. Fucking shoot ourselves. How do you come to
my lawyer.
How do you come to boot that, laddie? There's no many folk here, even here in the prison who've heard these papers. Ah, well, I can't tell what Mr. Vigil told me. I'm afraid our sources must remain confidential, sir. Humph. We've been led to believe the papers are actually a last will and testament. Is that right? The professor's, or rather, Genshina Sogi's. DOS, mate. Oh, that's right. You're well informed, Jimmy. It's Ryunosuke, actually. Is at the end of the silent treatment. But then after the convict's execution, it mysteriously vanished from his cell, didn't it? Havers, now! You're off the half-cock there. I think you didn't quite get your facts straight. It was there in the cell. Exactly where it should have been. Oh, not what we heard elsewhere. Let me just have a wee help around in here. Sure, I can find it. Ah, here you are. See? Last Will and Testament of Genshin Asogi, written with a calligraphy brush. Of course, I cannot read a word of those Japanese squiggles. On mine it says he leaves all his worldly possessions to his son back in his homeland. I just want us to take one look at it. It's like,
this isn't even Japanese.
This isn't even Japanese. This is just gibberish. Like, have you all been going off of this as real? Yes, that's correct. That's the gist of it. So these are the Asogi papers. Oh, of course they are. Papers written by Asogi, no doubt about it. There's no mystery here, laddie. That's your lot. After all the I hate you. Stramash over that, all that sliced of an execution. Well, he sent the man's possessions back to his client in Japan. That was the end of it. I think we ought to make a record of this, Mr. Naruto, just in case. One thing before you go on your way, Mr. Naruto. Yes? Those papers are now to do with Gregson's death. I prefer it if you did I make no mention of them outside of this office, or rather, I wouldn't just prefer it, considering order from the highest levels of government. What? I don't understand. Okay, are we done?
And that's why we brought it up, because we couldn't understand him.
Are we done here? An axe, a hunting rifle, and 4 pairs of handcuffs? 4. Yeah, that's a daunting collection. Ah, there's a story behind every one of those. You mean the rifle was a famous killer's murder weapon, and the axe was wielded by an infamous executioner? And the handcuffs were once used to immobilize a fierce 4-legged beast when it was arrested? I think you're in the realms of fantasy now, Mr. Naruto. Not these kind of stories, Jimmy. That axe was the one I used to chop down the cherry tree at my house. Mrs. Caden was nay best pleased. Huh? And the cuffs on the left are the ones I caught my first burglar with back when I was a bobby. The stories were a little different to those you imagined, I think, weren't they? Yes, to my relief, and in some small way, my disappointment. But what about the rifle? And you said just the cuffs on the left. You didn't mention the other 3.
Do you want me to mention the other 3? I don't think you want to hear that story.
This grandfather clock is fitted with a terrifying blade that keeps dropping down. Smaller than the guillotine, French execution device. You might have heard it. And guess, before you ask, it can chop. Heads off, you mean? Harvest, no, carrots and parsnips and so forth. And dicks. Oh! If you place a large carrot at the bottom there in the morn, by evening it all been cut clean in 2. Well, the blade must have an almost indescribable edge on it then.
It's gonna be important.
No, a carrot? It takes a whole day to cut a carrot? Indescribable in the sense that it's a very dull blade.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that, like, that's gonna be, this blade is gonna be important.
Probably not. I never expected to find a parrot in a prison. It must be the government's pet. Governor's pet. Given where we are, it's hard not to see the poor creature as a prisoner. Let me out! Don't they kill me! Ah! Has the bird learned to mimic the plaintive cries of the inmates in the cells? In the accents of the owner? If you know, he's one of 3 siblings, you see. And he still calls out the names of his 2 brothers like that all the time. Sorry, what? You had a pair of you had a set of 3 parrots, and you named 2 of them Limioot and Deny Kill Me. Wait! Deny Kill Me! Aye, yeah, laddie. You want your dinner, eh? Did I do it? What lovely names for your parrots. It's a very large cabinet full of papers, isn't it? It's labeled Inmate Register, look. And all the files are in alphabetical order. That's 50 years worth of records of Barclay's inmates. Whether or not they left it alive after serving their term. All the details about the crimes they committed are recorded there, like an epitaph, you might say. A record of crimes and punishments. How dispiriting. Why is that dispiriting? And yeah, this man seems to be enjoying tea and biscuits as he talks about it. Deer! Doe! That deer has been staring at me for a while now. It has? I don't think it... Mr. Naruto, you are aware that it's stuffed and it can't look away, right?
It has a camera in it.
Oh shit, I've been trying to do a staring contest with it this whole time.
Wait, there's a camera in its eye.
What's a camera? Poor thing can't fit through the small hole in the wall. And the poor thing can't fit through the small hole in the wall, but it can't get its head back out again either now.
Oh god.
It's giving me a woefully imploring look.
It's dead.
It's not real, Mr. Naruto. It's stuffed. What? I mean, yes, of course it is. For a moment, I thought it was another assassin sneaking in via the ventilator. I don't like to say, but I think perhaps you need to reread The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. I suppose these are all former governors of Barclay Prison, are they? Either that or former inmates who the governor has sent to the gallows. Oh dear, they all have such severe expressions I really couldn't deny either possibility. Especially the one on the extreme right. His expression...
That poor parrot needs a new cage.
Ah! So tiny, so cold. His expression goes beyond severe into a whole new territory. That one's me. Ah! Oh, I'm terribly sorry, sir. Is it a prerequisite of the job, perhaps? Having a severe expression, I mean. Oh, of course not. Oh, it is taken into consideration. A lot. Okay, I actually think that's the first time we actually clicked on everything in here. We weren't able to any other time. Or we forgot to. Ah, so this is the window that Mr. Vigil jumped out, I see. Was there anything else? Do we have anything to present to him?
I don't think so. I think we just came here for the papers.
Well, we did get a scene of like, alright, well, I think you've exhausted my dialogue. So, I was wondering, but I'm okay with moving on.
Maybe we'll get more dialogue and have to come back.
I don't know. They probably wanted me to go to Chief Justice Office first before anything else. And we saved it for the very end. No arguments, Prosecutor Asogi. You will continue with the trial exactly as I instructed. Is that clear? Perfectly.
I am actually the best.
It's Kazuma-sama! Defying Lord Strongheart by the sound of it. He never did know when to back down. Who's yelling over there? On your way now, Asogi. My lord. But why?
Because I ate food and now it has been digested and needs to be out of me.
But why?
To live.
But... Kazuma. Ryunosuke. Oh, no. See ya.
Bitch.
He left without saying a word.
Looks like he goes, bitch.
bitch. Yes? What are you doing here? I actually have no idea, sir. Oh, I was just hoping to ask you a few questions, if you wouldn't mind. I do! I wanted Van Zeek's trial concluded today. But Prosecutor Sogi's unwelcome inquiries are going to make it much longer than necessary. Unwelcome inquiries? As a result, I'm losing even more precious time. Currently 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 41 seconds. 42, 43, 44, 45, 42. We must resolve everything before 3 hours have passed, Mr. Naruto. In a miraculous not even 5 minutes. Anyway, I can't let the man's obvious bad mood put me off. I need information. Astrid? I thought I heard her come down. Does Prosecutor Sogi believe that Lord Van Zeeks is the Reaper? I wouldn't know. It was 10 years ago in that fearful, fateful closing trial that Lord Van Zeeks made a name for himself among the judiciary. But the next trial he fought, he lost. He had meant the ringleader of a criminal. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff going on now. Let me take a moment to clear my throat. It meant the ringleader of a criminal organization was acquitted, thanks to the jurors being under duress. But that's awful. Man's freedom was short-lived. He lasted just 3 days. Wait, let me see something real quick. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I'm just checking on this now, but, like, Sholmes didn't trust Mikotoba because he had a beard. He doesn't have a beard. He just has a mustache. In fact, the only person with a beard in this whole case is this guy. The man's freedom was short-lived. He lasted just 3 days. Yes, let me see. He died in a rock slide at his place of work, I believe. What? Correct. That was in the inauguration of the Reaper of the Bailey. And people believed Lord Van Zeeks was responsible. He was brought to trial himself, but it was shown to have been accident. So he must have had a solid alibi then. Nevertheless, the mysterious deaths continued. In total, 16 persons perished in unusual circumstances, ostensibly at the hands of the Reaper. That's a long run of coincidences. Well, the Reaper's true identity may well be revealed by this trial. And the impact that revelation would have on the British public cannot be understated. Is that why it's a closed trial? Precisely. The
This country hasn't seen a closed trial for 10 years.
So the last one was the professor's. The trial of Genshin Asogi?
It's been a very slow news day for the last decade.
Actually, we heard that... Oh, I guess Strongheart does also have a beard. Very small one. I don't even think you can count that as a goatee. He's got mostly mutton. He's mostly mutton chops. Actually, we heard that originally. You were going to prosecute that trial yourself, Lord Strongheart.
Van Zieks entreated me to relinquish the prosecution to him, that he might avenge his brother's death. I thought, lol, this'll be great, and here we are, 10 years later. With the son of the man Van Zieks had condemned now looking to avenge his father's death in the same way.
They do say that what goes around comes around.
However, it would seem that the new young prosecutor is harboring some ulterior motive as well.
Cosmo is?
I like my organization to run smoothly in the exact manner that I prescribe. As with the giant clock in here, I won't tolerate a single cog being out of step with the others.
So that's what all these gears are about in here.
If the young man refuses to mesh with the other parts of my great machine, I will be forced to take steps.
What do you mean?
Not something with which you need concern yourself. In any case, all your questions will be answered tomorrow.
Yeah, you're real sus.
Get out! I shall have to ask you to excuse me. As of this moment, I've been delayed from attending my next meeting by precisely 3 hours.
Oh my, that is a long time.
And I hold you entirely responsible.
Even though we miraculously managed to fit everything into not even 5 minutes? I wonder if you might agree to us, talking with Prosecutor Asogi?
Discussions between the defense and the prosecution outside of the courtroom are generally frowned upon. However, I will make an exception in this case. Now go! You can find him in his office.
Oh, thank you!
Leave!
Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Let's go see him at once, Mr. Anahudo. Cosmo's my best friend in the world, but I'm really not at all sure I know how to talk to him at the moment. Alright, let's go.